Hello and welcome to the new playthrough that I am starting within the Final Fantasy Marathon. And, well, I'm going to have to, of course, explain it because it may be confusing for anybody seeing that doesn't understand how the original 6 Final Fantasy work. But today I will be starting Final Fantasy 4, but on here it does say Final Fantasy 2 because in the West, or basically anywhere outside of Japan, Final Fantasies 2 and 3 did not get released outside of Japan, so Final Fantasy 4 was marketed as Final Fantasy 2. Same happened with Final Fantasy 5, so Final Fantasy 6 became Final Fantasy 3, and of course 3 years later we got FF7, which is insanely popular, of course, because anybody who knows about Final Fantasy will more than likely know about 7. But that means that for any of the hardcore original fans in the West, they suddenly went from 3 to 7. It's a very weird one. But yeah, now I've explained that, I guess I'll explain the title a bit. So Final Fantasy 4 is the first title to kind of show their development through the franchise. So this is the first title to have quite a lot new towards the battle system itself. Like, of course, 3 managed to make a nice crisp battle system with the regular turn-based, but now we get an ATB Gorge and we actually get timings that are required for, setting up everything. But yeah, Final Fantasy 4 is one of the best titles. I know a few people that don't really know too much outside of 7, but they are very knowledgeable on 4, because 4 is a very good title. It's also one of the hardest titles, or at least people say, but there are points where I find the game difficult, but, we'll see if I get Shrek'd for saying that later in the title. So, without further ado, let's start Cecil's story. Might turn it down a notch. There we go. So here are the Red Wings, the army of Baron. Captain Cecil, we are about to arrive. Good. Why are we robbing crystals from innocent people? That's our duty. Do we really have to keep doing this? Give us the crystal of water. What have we done? The crystal or your life? Never. Then, take the crystal by force. No, don't dare to defy us. So yeah, very interesting protagonist that's, well, very antagonising at the moment. My, alright, take the crystal. You should have said it earlier. There we go. Why is the King of Baron doing this? Why do you pursue the crystal so eagerly? Cecil does not know. He's just blindly following orders. We take pride in being members of the Red Wings. Looting is out of the question. Stop it. Captain, we can't stand doing this anymore. Listen. Possessing the crystal is an essential factor for our prosperity. Moreover, His Majesty judged that Mysidians know too much about the secret of the crystal. We are the Red Wings, the air force of the Kingdom Baron. The royal command is absolute. Captain. Monsters. Take up fighting positions. Here we go. Bonk. Firebomb. Bonk. Ouch. I love how it's just a ouch as he pops to the floor. You okay? More coming. Watch out. lightning bolt. Bonk. I want to know where he gets these items from, but hey hey. Everyone okay? Yes, sir. But there are too many monsters these days. Too many. Agreed. What's happening? So yeah, Cecil, does not know what's going on. We are over Baron. Make a landing. He's confused as to why monsters are starting to appear more often. And of course, he doesn't understand why his king is making him steal the crystals, when they're clearly very valuable. As seen as well as we know from 1 and 3, crystals represent the 4 different elements of the world. Oh, Cecil, is it the crystal of water? The Mysidians were so helpless. What are you trying to say? This way, Cecil. I don't know if I'm tripping or not, but it looks graphically different, just slightly, the game. I'm not sure, it might be me. I don't actually know if I've played the game since I wore glasses, that might be it. Because it's no longer a pixelated mess in my eyes. I don't know. Anyway, please wait here. Your Majesty, I'm afraid Cecil has developed quite a rebellious air. Truly? Well done, Pagan. We must do something. Call him in. Yes, Your Majesty. Doodle-doo-doo. Cecil, His Majesty summons you. Please come in. We thank you for successfully completing the mission. Now, where is it? Here, my liege. Hand over the crystal. Real crystal. Good, Cecil. You may leave now. So 4 is the first Final Fantasy to have a really good story. I really love the story of 4, but a lot of people do. 4, in my opinion, is better than 6, and so is 5. I don't hate 6, but I really think it's overhyped. It's a good game, but 4 and 5, well, 5 offers just an absolutely phenomenal battle system, and 4 is a fantastic story. I mean, 6 has a very good story in its own right, but Kefka and the story itself is over it. But I'm just going to shut up about that because this is FF4, so here we go. Your Majesty. What? What is it? We do not understand the meaning of taking crystals away from honest people. Disobeying me? No, I don't. We do know of your discontent, Cecil. If you cannot trust me, I can no longer place the Red Wings in your command. You are dismissed from your post. Your Majesty. Go and hunt the summoned monsters of the Misty Valley, and take this package to the village mist. You may depart tomorrow morning. Your Majesty. Cecil didn't... If you're concerned about Cecil that much, go with him, Cain. Your Majesty. Now, leave with the package. Your Majesty. Sorry, Cain. Don't worry. He'll put you back in command of the Red Wings after this mission. But, never mind. Go back to your room and take a rest. Walk in all directions. Yep. You must be careful not to miss what they say. An unexpected person may give you information. There we go. A very interesting start to the story. I feel something strange about the king lately. I have faith in His Majesty. I'm glad you do. If the king hears people talk about him like this, he'll be angry. You're not allowed in. Treasure your life. The Misty Valley is in the northwest. If our Dragoon Cain and Cecil of the Red Wings joined forces, there would be no match. What's wrong? Sorry, Cain. Oh, stop that. I mastered the Dark Sword as commanded by His Majesty, but it was to defend and not to rob. Do not blame yourself. His Majesty must have his own reason. Well, it's very complicated, and Cecil is confused, my friend. But yeah, Cain and Cecil are both very good characters. You'll find out very quickly that they're completely different characters, but they work so well together within the story, as you'll see. Just checking to see if there's anything in those pots. Some monsters are immune to the basic spells such as fire, ice and lightning. Must be more to learn. I'm working on the use of magic spells in battles right now. Sleep. Aren't you sleepy? Foolish wench. I wasn't sleeping. Heard you brought back the crystal of water from the city. Yeah, but it cost me my job because I ran the mouth. Don't blame anybody. Really nothing in here? I mean, I never used to check stuff like that because I was a melon, you know. The king has become very energetic lately, but something is strange. I'm studying the basics. I learned Cure 1 in my last class. Good for you. Rosa became White Wizard to be of help. Be nice to her. Well, of course he's going to be nice to her. It's his girlfriend. Take the treasure in this room. The switch is on the wall. There. A tent, a Cure 1, and 300 GP. Let's go this side. There's not really much to do this side at the moment, but, you know. The treasure of Baron is stored here. No one is allowed. Remember that as a hint for later. Found a good place to goof off and take a nap. Oops, no, I'm just kidding. Oh, please, don't tell our boss. Did you see our boss sit anywhere? Off limits. Piss off. Not allowed. Okay, now we've done that, we go. I mean, as you know, I'm not going to be rushing through the game, so I'll explore everywhere. Take my time with it. But now we go across this way. So we have to go. Cecil. You are not hurt? I was so anxious. We are not hurt. How could we be? The wizards didn't even raise their hands. Cecil. Can I see you later? Yeah, later. So of course, Rosa and Cecil is kind of like the first love story of Final Fantasy as well. Of course, it's become a common theme to have a love story within the story of FF titles since. So most of them do. 5, no. 6 does. 7 explains itself if you know the story. 8 is very heavy on it. 9 starts off subtle. 10, well, someone who's going to be watching this will be like, yeah, no, fuck 10. And a certain scene, which I don't blame them for. And yeah. 12 does, in a sense, yeah. But anyway, I'll stop rabbiting on. The mages who didn't submit are confined here. You can talk to them over the cage. They don't want to calm down. I'm not messing with that. Diddle-doo-doo, diddle-doo-doo, diddle-doo. Right, here we go. Next cutscene. Hey, Cecil. How's my airship doing? What's wrong? What? Who's going to command the Red Wings then? I'm not sure what the king is thinking. He ordered me to make an airship, but I don't want it to be used as a weapon. Well, I've got to go home. I've been working all night and my daughter is worried about me. Another thing to mention about 4 as well is the way the parties are set up is very, very, very different to any other Final Fantasy so far. Well, I mean, Final Fantasy 4 is a better version of Final Fantasy 2. Is where you get those constant party switches in 2. That's a very common theme in 4, but it's done so much better and they actually use it to adopt in the story well. But anyway, that mission has made me feel bad. The Red Wings have lost their glitter. I'm trying to forget about things we did in Mysidia. Captain. Ouch, that hurts. So, I mean, there is one link with Kane, the Dragoon, and Ricard. That little boy that Ricard talks to is called Kane, so it's not been explained, but there we go. Anyway, I've changed the sheets. Leaving early tomorrow morning, sir. Good night. go. So here we're going to get the theme of love. Soon, anyway. What happened to His Majesty? The Crystal of Mysidia. Did we really have to snatch it from the peace-loving people? Never again, even if ordered. Cecil. What's wrong? You're not quite yourself lately. Nothing. Then, please don't look away. Do do do. In Mysidia, we had to rob from the innocent people. Do 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 do. Oh dear. I am just a dark knight with no courage to disobey His Majesty. The real Cecil I knew would never whimper like this. You are going to miss tomorrow, right? If anything should happen to you. Don't worry, Kane is coming too. It's late, go back to your room. Take care. Do 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 do. Thanks, Rosa. Still, I am just a dark knight. I found this quite pantomimey as well. At least the opening, the way they transition it, because it's like sequence of like a pantomime or at least a play. But of course, storytelling works well in that format. Let's go, Cecil. Outside the castle is the city of Baron. Let's gather information and equipment in the city. And this theme played in the bloody Olympics opening ceremony. But my God, is it beautiful. It will never get old. Now here we go. With the prologue in text form. Thus, the Dark Knight Cecil was expelled from his command as a captain of the Red Wings. And he and Dragoon Kane left Baron for the village mist, in a valley enclosed in deep fog. Airships had been a dream of many people. After the realization of the dream came greed and ambition. Through its fleet of airships, Baron became the most powerful nation. But why is Baron seeking the crystals? Why do the monsters keep increasing? We don't know. We do not know. And we get one more line. The crystal was shedding its light silently. And that's what I mean, just, they ask those rhetorical questions, then bang, they just mention the crystal. Nice little subtle hints. We love it. And here we go with the world map theme. So yeah, we start off with level 10 for Kane and Cecil. So 13 and 14, and 15 and 17. We've got some shadow gear. So you start off pretty well equipped. We're not going to save yet, screw that, whatever. 10 and Cure package. Because this is actually the oldest Final Fantasy I've played so far. Of course, the 1 to 3 I played. But anyway, battle speed. Yeah, why not? Let's have a cool window colour, shall we? Well, let's not blind anyone. If you turn this off, it goes black. Yeah. No, we don't want pink. Not yellow either. Do you know what? Let's go for black. Black is pretty cool. Or do we just go... Actually, no, we'll just go for a dark blue. Why not? It's the traditional anyway. Change form. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's no active or ATB weight in this, but from 5 it is a function. But anyway, let's go. Pure one. Yeah, I forgot if you run into like a pot or something that like flails you the other way. Wanted, great dancers, ask at the counter, Baronian in. Why are you wearing such dark armour? Are you a bad guy? Well, that's gotta hurt Cecil hearing that. At the moment, but of course she's only a kid. Because that's the thing, that's why 4 it has such a great opening. Because they decided to do something different with the protagonist. Mr. Dark Knight, money? No, I can't charge you. Cecil, I've done nothing. I've never failed to pay the taxes. So that's the thing, like, because he is a Dark Knight, like Cecil's just wandering around town and everybody's just thinking that he's going to do something bad. Massive red flag. This is the training room for you warriors. We teach you how to advance in your adventure. You'd better listen to the instructions or you may not go far. I like how they always have these tutorial sections. But I'm here just to speak to Naming Way, really. Would you like to change your name? No. Very well, anytime if you change your mind. But yeah, you can change the characters' names, but there's no point. When your items get too many to carry, go to the big chocobos and leave items in their care. When it smells like chocobos, use carrot. Big chocobos will surely appear. Should be guys or greens, God. But no, from 7 they fixed it. So. If you want to read the words slowly during the battles, reduce the battle message speed. But we're not going to be doing that. I won't talk to the tutorial a lot. I don't think there's any items or anything to get now. I think if you sit in that seat, you get like a little lesson of some form. But man, don't care about all that. Cecil of the Red Wing. Misty Valley is beyond the cave of Northwest. So you get items. So you get ether, heal, carrot, tent, life, cure 1. Do not forget to take cure 1, heal 1, tent. It'll be tough outside of the town. Not really with goblins, mate, but you know. But yeah, as you probably saw, you can change the rows, but you can only change the rows of the whole party. You cannot individually change rows to try and be clever with it. Here's Serpent Road. This is the Serpent Road that leads to Mysidia. Now Mysidia has sealed the road. Because of course we stole their crystal. It's been sealed at Mysidia's end. Not good. And then locked. That is the Baronian sewers. I was going to just call it the Baron sewers, but Baronian sounds cooler. And there's Sid. It's the new engine. Ouch. And here's his daughter. More all-night work. He still feels young. Town folks spill ill of soldiers and the king. My father often quarrels with them for that. Because Sid will protect his king. That's why Cecil tried to remain loyal, but he just couldn't do it. And yeah, locked. There's no point going in that shop yet, because, well, Cecil and Crane just have fantastic equipment. Fantastic. There is better equipment in there, but just can't get it yet. Anyway, don't go to Mist. It'll be awful, I can tell. Yeah, but I can't progress the story otherwise. You know, here's a dancer. Oh, the Dark Knight. Want to see something? Sounds very Dragon Questy. But hey ho. I believe Enix and Square were both still separate at this point, but now I will say they do love their waterways where they put items in like a secret little passage in the water. That's it, right, let's go. Just say don't go across that bloody bridge. Slow it down. Wow, the Dark Knight, a bit scary but cool. That door at the west building in the town is the underpass to the Castle Baron. There's a waterway that leads to the mountains there, but hey hey. The king's become dreadful. I heard you did an awful thing in Mysidia. Don't drag Rosa into trouble, I beg you. This is Rosa's nanny. Here's the tent. Of course, the most awkward part is where an item is. Well, anyway, that is Baron Explored. You don't have to come here, but there we go. Goblins. Let's go. Call it imps or whatever. I forgot this is no ATV doors either. But of course this is early stages of the modern adaptation of it. There we go. 65. Everything else is pointless, there's no point going there. But anyway, strike first. You use the lightning bolt on 3 of these and what, they're dead within 40 damage. Jesus. It'd be funny if, because I've got the FF5 picture for you, that's my notification code. It'd be funny if when I get to that it times perfectly, with me actually doing a battle. That'd be quite funny actually. And here we go. Mr. Cave. I haven't actually saved it either, so this has got dangerous. But man don't care about all that. Idiot. Slow it up accidentally there. Go back. Who is it? Wait, hang on. It does seem a bit different. Seems graphically better. Like sharper, in a sense. That little sprinkling noise you can hear, that's a very popular thing to use in FF5. I didn't know the word for it. No, I believe these will take 2 attacks. Oh no, they won't. I don't remember. Well, in the remake they do. But the remake is ridiculous. Let's look at status, shall we? 573, oh yeah, no point. Well, quite a lot of the game, at least a lot of the early game, there's no point in like grinding too much. I mean, you get, well, I mean, at the start of the next episode, I will be grinding up the character I'll be getting after the mist section. She starts off at level 1. But there's no point like over grinding, as you'll see, because there's a certain point in the game where just absolutely grinding you'll find is pointless early on. You get through the majority of the game without really grinding, because I know I've done it. Because as I said, I had an emulator called Super Retro 16. That was like the first ever emulator I used, and Final Fantasy 4 was the first game I played on an emulator. Which meant that, well, I played this, and the thing, like, people say it's one of the hardest titles, but I managed to complete this game in a few days, because I just slammed it out, because basically the way that works, if you had the free version, you could only, you can only load a save state 5 times. You could save as much as once, but you can only use those saves 5 times. And then you'd have to wait for it to recover. So I just used to literally, if I had a full day, I would just slam out FF4 that whole day. I did that like 2 or 3 times and then managed to complete the game. So like when people say it's one of the harder titles, I just think, I don't know. I mean, it is difficult at points, but I managed to do that. And I believe when I slammed it out like that, because if I game overed, I had to actually use the in-game save points, which is what you want to do anyway. But that's what I mean, like that happened, but hey hey. But I did hear that apparently the Japanese version of FF4 was much harder. But there we go. Your one. So I believe the row system still exists in the game. You want to attack the front row first? No, there we go. Leave now. Is it a monster? One's from Baron. Who are you? Return now and I will not harm you. Show up. Do you still wish to go on? Yes. We must deliver this package to the village of Mist. Then I must. The mist is gathering. So this fight has a unique thing in it where once it turns into a mist, you don't want to attack it because it will turn into when it reverts back to this form, it ends up hurting you very badly. But well, Final Fantasy 4, 6, and 7 have a boss where it has a gimmick where if you attack it during a certain phase of the fight, it deals high amounts of damage. Because the Guard Scorpion of 7 has a troll in its text box, which is a bit confusing to deal with, but that's just kind of how it happens. Anyway, yep, there we go. Managed to time it by making Kain attack once. That's a little tactic I found out the last time I played it. Don't say get ready to fight, because I'm not queuing an attack while it still has the mist up. I believe you also just flat out miss if you hit the mist as well, when it turns into mist form. No, one more attack should suffice. There we go. We'll go for this. With one battle first. Stampede and one damage, well done. And goodbye. So, of course, what Final Fantasy games like to do sometimes is make like the start of the game easy and accessible. But anyway, time for an oh fuck moment. Package open automatically. So it was a package filled with bombs. And now the bombs are completely toppling the village. So now, at this point, we know the king's definitely evil, and we're like, well, what the fuck? What? We've brought this package to burn the village? Why? Mummy, Mummy, who's that? My mum's dragon fell, so my mum did too. I've heard of the people with the power to summon monsters. They are callers or summoners. We defeated the dragon, so her mother is gone also. You've beaten my mother's dragon. We didn't mean to do this to your mother. His Majesty wanted to wipe out the callers of this village and used us to do it. Incredible. I'm afraid we must do away with her too. Cain, she's just a kid. You dare to renounce your loyalty to His Majesty? So now Cain's just suddenly flipped. And he's gone from saying Cain to Cecil, oh, it's fine, we'll find a way to get you back in the king's good books. Don't worry about it. We'll find out what's wrong with the king. But now he's just suddenly flipped. And well, what I will reveal now is a heavy theme within Final Fantasy IV is love, loyalty, and betrayal. There is a lot of loyalty between certain characters, and there's a crap ton of betrayal. But that is going to be the themes of the story. Of course, I'll stop rabbiting on now. Forget it. Never again will I follow such an order. Well, Cecil, I knew you'd say so. I won't let you do it alone. Cain, I owe His Majesty much still. I cannot disgrace the dragoons. Then will you? But Baron is the mightiest country in the world. It's impossible for us to challenge his might alone. We must gather other countries. So now Cain's just suddenly, that was like a little test. But there will be stuff down the line. And we must rescue Rosa. Thank you, Cain. Not for your sake. Let's get out of here fast. What about that girl? We can't leave her here alone. Listen, it's dangerous here. Come with us. Okay? No. Let's take her. No, go away. Wait, please. Go away. I hate you. I hate you all. No. Titan. Quake. So she manages to actually cause an earthquake that rips a part of the passageway to mist. Now Cecil and the girl are here. But where is Cain? Cain has disappeared, which he likes to do a lot. But hey, hey. Oh, she's alright. Cain. Cain? Cain. I can't stay here any longer. I have to escape from Baron with this girl. And there's the FF5 one. Anyway, let's go. There we go. Brilliant. Bonk bonk. Over hill. There we go, Kaito. She must rest. Welcome. Oh, take her to the room. Hurry up. Money? No, that's okay. Go ahead. Thank you. You okay? I haven't heard your name yet. I know I have done an awful thing. I can't ask for your forgiveness. But at least let me protect you, please. She looked over. She was considering it. I finally found you, Cecil. Wait. His Majesty decided that the callers of mist are too dangerous to be left alive. What? Hand her over. No. Here we go. We've got 3 soldiers and an officer. So kill 2 soldiers. And then I kill the officer to get more experience. If you kill the 3 soldiers, then the officer runs off. So, because the officer never attacks, he just orders them to attack. There's no memory either in the battle system. So, because I used memory in FS3, remember the last action I made, we made it easier to choose the next attack, but that's not in the original FS4. How can you miss? I just want extra experience. By attacking the officer. Do 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 do. Stop missing. Do 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 do. Stop missing. Just kill the officer. Get the extra experience. My God. I'm only doing it to get extra experience. He's just missing. Do 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 do. The absolute disparaging amount of damage being dealt is a bit weird, but hey hey. Still tanking from the top. Still alive, but hey hey. There we go. Bonk. This is an extra level up because you don't get nowhere near 880 if you don't kill him. Did I get you in trouble? I'm sorry. It's for me to apologise. Well, I know you can't forgive me, but you protected me. I'm Lydia. Here is our theme. It's a nice, it's a solemn one, but it's solemn like I would say VV's. It's that type of theme. So now she's accepted his protection. Let's go. No, there's some pots I want to check first. And of course, naturally, there's nothing. Can I play special refreshment for desert perch fruits? I'm on my way to Fabul, but a strange old man is denying the way in the watery path. Welcome. We have few customers these days because of the monsters. Only the Dampsian royalty can enter Cave Antlion to the east of Dampsian. Right, hold your horses, we've got to get to Dampsian first. Oh god. Teller has brought up his daughter Anna alone. Anna ran away. That's really the next part of the story. So you've got the great sage Teller, and his daughter Anna has run off from him in love. Aww. But he doesn't like it. Anyway, here we go. I want to go to dancing to be a dancer. What we dance? So here's dance number 2. Lovely job, boy. Also got iron. Right, so you've got cap cloth. Well, cap, leather, and iron ring. What does Rydia have? I don't remember. Cap, leather, iron ring. He surely has that. I never get why like some shops have like the items that a character initially starts off with anyway. Very weird, but hey. Underground waterway is northeast of Kyoto. The 8 big sea snakes are blocking the way. Anna fell in love with a man, but Teller didn't allow her to see him, so they ran away. Welcome to Kyoto, the Damsian Desert. Here's another form of training school. When your items get too many to carry, blah blah blah, you just say the same things. Boom, boom, boom. I don't think there's going to be anything that you can grab item wise. There's not going to be any secret items. Not at this point. No. See what Iridian can get. Rod, staff, short bow. Get a stave. Well, what I do like about this one as well is rods can boost your magic stats as well as your like attack stat. As well, attack stat don't really matter with mages anyway. Anyway, we need to go here first. The Damsian Castle in the north governs this area. The Crown Prince sings beautifully as a bard. His name is Edward. A girl from Baron was kept from falling down. She kept calling a name. Do you know Cecil? I am Cecil. Rosa. Cecil. Don't leave me, Cecil. So she came to. She worried about Cecil and came to find him, and well, she ended up wound here. So we have to find a way to sort her out. We need Sand Ruby to cure the fever, but it is in the lair of the monster called Antlion. So we've got to find it. There are front and rear rows in the party's battle formation. Place weak ones in the rear row. Well, you can only... You can't change her. You can only change her... Wait, what? Oh, crap, yeah, of course. That's how it works. So the top slot, the middle slot, and the bottom slot are the front rows, and then the two in the middle either side of the third slot, so the second and fourth slot, are the back rowers. And I fell in love with them. Oh no, I've already read them. Never mind. Let's just go. So that's marks the end of the first episode of my playthrough of Final Fantasy IV within the Final Fantasy Marathon. It was a nice big intro, but that is now the end. So thank you for watching this episode, and in the next episode I will be starting off with a little level grind in order to get Rydia up to an efficient level to get her through the first dungeon she's involved in. We'll be going through, well, the second dungeon of the game, but I guess the first proper dungeon. It's quite a big one, considering, and there's quite a lot of story involved. But of course, as I said, Final Fantasy IV is the first title to go for it when it comes to a story. But, I mean, well, the whole point of the marathon as well, it allows you to see kind of the progression of the series over time. So you've now seen the first trilogy. Now you're going to see the Super Nintendo trilogy and kind of see how they started to improve the battle system, started to manage to adopt a story into the games. And then, of course, once we get to the PlayStation trilogy, 7 to 9, absolutely phenomenal. And then from there, we've got 10 onwards, which I have never LP'd on YouTube, but I'm currently going through 12. I probably won't do all of it in my first playthrough, because it will just take the piss. So I might just at least do the main story, you know, because I have seen it. I'll at least play it once before I get to it. And then there's the 13 trilogy. Don't know how I'm going to access that. And then 15, which of course I can buy close to the time. I might just blind play through that one, since it's easy anyway. But as I said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.